we are funded at lower levels than we were in 2009. And yet we have more students, we have less funding, and we have a higher percentage of dollars in the classroom than we've had before.
So one of the interesting facets of the negotiations, or the public negotiations with the unions, was that you essentially gave a very generous Cadillac package to the teachers to show that you valued the teachers and gave what the district could give. Yet there was still blowback from the union. Is that right?
Well, so the contract expired with the union, the collective bargaining agreement, which is what it actually was. And we went ahead and gave our teachers everything that we had put on the table that we could give. I mean, when we put our package on the table, we had a raise, we had a benefits improvement, we were absorbing the pension increase that the state had sent out. So we went ahead and did all of those things without any pressure from any third party. And the other thing we did was we literally copied and pasted the working conditions from the collective bargaining agreement to basically what is an employee handbook, and said, look, we're not here to ruin anybody's lives. We're really here to do what's best for students and teachers. And we thought this was the best, and when we were negotiating, and we still think it's the best. So we're going to go ahead and move it forward. And the other thing we did was we've really put a policy in place where we live within our means. And we have repaired our budget, brought it to fiscal health. The minute we find additional dollars because we didn't spend as much on snow removal or utilities as we thought, we deploy those dollars to our teachers. So sometimes they get ongoing increases, sometimes they get one-time monies, and we've done that also. So they can plainly see that we're not trying to hide money or keep it away from them. As soon as we know that it's reoccurring dollars, we put it in a reoccurring raise. If it's one-time money, we give it to them one time.
I mean, well, what was the problem? Why would the unions reject this?
Well, because there were 25 different things, and they included things like no longer paying union officers that didn't teach. The district had been paying for union officers who were never in the classroom, and we had tried to negotiate a middle ground with them on that, saying we're happy to continue paying this, but we would actually need deliverables or something to show for it. They weren't interested in that, and so one of the things we put on the table was that we were going to take that money and redeploy it to provide additional benefits for teachers. And so that was one thing that they weren't really excited about. There were moments, though, during the negotiations where they actually agreed to things, that, for example, and then they might come back the next day and say, we changed our mind, or we'll go ahead and agree to that, but we're going to sue you for it, these kind of things. So there were things in the 25 items that we believed were best for the district, best for students, and best for teachers, but perhaps not best for the union, so they didn't want to move ahead with those.
Has it been your policy, outside of just focusing on unions, to take money from other parts of your budget to put directly back into the classroom?
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. In fact, we've had budget reductions for years, just like everyone else. Last year was much better, not that great, but still we are funded at lower levels than we were in 2009. And yet we have more students, we have less funding, and we have a higher percentage of dollars in the classroom than we've had before. So we can show on a bar graph the dollars from state coming down, the enrollment going up, and the percentage of dollars in the classroom going up. And so we've made a commitment to putting dollars in the classroom with our students and teachers. We know that's where it has to be.
And when you took over the district, it was in I wouldn't call it tumult, but it was definitely not on the financial footing it is today.
Right. By our standards, the budget was not financially and fiscally, it wasn't healthy. Sure. And so we wanted to repair that, obviously. In Colorado, you're required to have a TABOR reserve.
What's a TABOR reserve?
Taxpayer Bill of Rights requires government entities like the school district to have a 3% reserve that we don't spend and set that money aside. And there's a lot of controversy about whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing, but the bottom line is that's the law. And when I came into the district, that was funded with a credit card, not with cash. And there had been periods where it looked like the fund balance may go negative were it not for districts, schools, and departments that had saved money, and they kept it sort of right side up. And so we made a commitment to repair the fiscal health of the district. And we've done that. We fund our TABOR reserve with cash now. We have a 3% reserve, which equals 1 month of payroll. So that if there is a situation that comes up, we're good there. And beyond that, we allow our schools and departments to keep the dollars they don't spend. And as a result of that practice, our schools and departments have saved about $20 million that they hold in reserve. So we've really put in some strong fiscal health measures, and they have really paid dividends. Last year, our highest performing teachers' total package was around 10% increase.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about the 3 things education reformers need to know.